Welcome to Evanced Solutions How-To Session. Today's session will cover how to modify system setup, registration settings within Summer Reader. Let's begin by signing in to the staff side of your Summer Reader program. You will need to know your administrative password to sign in and do the modifications for today's session. Here in the password box, I am going to type in my administrative password, and I can either hit the Enter key on my keyboard or I can select the login by a simple click. Once the staff side of Summer Reader opens, it will open up in Manage Programs. For today's session, we will need to come to the toolbar, select System Maintenance. Within System Maintenance, come to System Setup and choose System Settings. Once we're within System Settings, we're going to scroll down and we're going to look at Registration Settings. As we're in Registration Settings, you will note there are 6 areas that we can make modifications to. The first area that you see is the International Field Entry, and we have the toggle button Yes or No. With the No selected, this is going to restrict my phone numbers to a 7-digit or 10-digit numeric entry, as well as my zip codes to a 5 or 9-digit numeric entry. If I was to select Yes this would allow any format for phone number or zip code entry. So when a patron is signing in or signing up for one of your programs, they would either have the Yes for any format or the No to be restricted on how many characters they can populate in the phone number or the zip code field. The next field that you see there is the library card length. The default is 0, and what that means, it's a variable length. So if I was to sign myself up and use my library card, which has 10 characters in it, and my daughter was to sign up and hers has 7 characters, any of my programs would accept that because it's a variable length. We have the 7 or the 10, and it covers that. If I was to put in a specific numbers, let's say 7, that would mean it's a fixed length, stating that there should be 7 characters within my library card. No more, no less. So when a patron's signing up for one of the programs and they key in their library card, they should have 7 characters in that field. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at 0 to allow for a variable length. The next field that you see there is the password length, and the default is currently set to a minimum of 4, the maximum of 12. Now, I can make modifications to this by maybe making the maximum 15, and then maybe the minimum should be 10. So they would have to come up with a password that is between 10 characters and 15 characters. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at 4, and I'll leave the maximum at 15. The patron recall limit. If I have a number greater than 0 within here, it's going to open up a button up on their patron registration page to allow the system to recall information for when they sign up for another program. If I have the 0 selected, the recall button is disabled on the patron side. So I'm going to leave it at 1. And we'll take a look at that in just a few moments on the patron side. The program-specific custom registration entries. By selecting Yes, this is going to open up 6 customizable fields when setting up the program. So I can set up specific things that I want to ask the patron during the registration. We'll take a look at this in just a few moments. The start birth year is going to represent the earliest birth year that is accepted by the system on all of your programs. Now that we've discussed all the items in registration settings, let's go up and select Save. Let's quickly take a look at those 6 customizable fields. Let's go under Edit Program, and I'm going to select one of my programs, and it's going to be the Tiny Tots Summer Reader. Once I'm in the program setup, there is an option here at the top for registration setup. And if I scroll all the way to the bottom, you will see there is custom registration entry 2 through 6. Now the reason why you don't see the 1 is because I've already configured that. If I click on the edit under favorite color, you will see the information that I populated for this field. So in this field, my field question is, what is your favorite color? My field note is, please select your favorite color, and then the name descriptor would be favorite color. My input type is list, and that means it's going to list assorted different colors. Other options that you could have selected other than list, such as yes, no. So if I had stated my question, is red your favorite color? You could have had the yes, no. Then you have your text area. If you wanted them to maybe explain why red was their favorite color, your question would be, why would red be your favorite color? Then they would have a box like you see here next to field note, where they could type in a description as to why red would be their favorite color. If you choose text, it's going to have a box like the one next to the field question. It's just going to be a simple answer. So when you say, what is your favorite color, they could actually put in red or blue or green, so on and so forth, just a short answer. The other option that you have in this custom registration entry would be staff only. This would be for when your staff is registering a patron, they would select the favorite color. Now that we've completed this one entry, let's go ahead and hit save and we'll close out. We'll close out of our registration setup as well. And we'll come back over to system maintenance. And if I needed to make any other modifications, I could, but for now, let's go take a look at the patron side. The program that I made the most updates to was the Tiny Tots Summer Reader program, so that'll be the one that I select here from the list. Now that I'm in the Tiny Tots, I'm going to sign up a patron so that you can see that recall button. If I only put it in 2 characters, I should get an error message once I've completed this registration form. We'll take a look at that error message. As you come down to the bottom of the screen, you will see our question, what is your favorite color? Along with that is the list of all the items that I had populated. So I can choose Lori's favorite color, and I'm going to go ahead and choose purple. Now when I select save, you will see that I get a message. The following errors have occurred. The password must be between 4 and 15 characters. I'm just going to select OK and make those corrections. And select Save again. Now I get a message that says you have successfully registered for the program. I'm going to select OK. This is the recall button that I was talking about earlier. This only appears if there's a number greater than 0 in the recall box. So when I select recall, it will bring up a box to select a program. Now I could select another one of my programs from the list. This time I'm going to choose the Youth Summer Reader and continue. Now as you can see, it's populated with some of the information from my previous screen. The last name, the primary library. It populates with any information that would be common between users. Now that you've seen some of the updates on the patron side, we can flip back over to the staff side and make further modifications as needed. If there are no other modifications, we would just simply log off.